Here is how to lose 20 pounds in the next 30 days without becoming smaller, weaker and deflated. And I'm gonna show you how to do it properly. The truth is simple. If you already lean, this video is not promising you 20 pounds down in 30 days. That would be stupid. But if you are overweight, you are sitting most of the day, you're not tracking your food, you are walking barely 4,000 steps per day, you're eating carbs randomly, you're lifting without any structure, you're drinking barely any water, sleeping like a trash, then you have a lot of easy weight to lose in the first 30 days. You're gonna lose fat, you're gonna lose water, bloating, food volume, your glycogen. And if you add proper protein, compound lifting, walking, sleep and structure, you can lose weight while preserving muscle, in some cases even building lean muscle mass. That means the scale might not even show the full transformation. You might lose 15 pounds on the scale, but visually you can look like you lost 20-25 pounds. Because your waist gets tighter, your shoulders gonna look more full, your chest, it gets strained, your posture gonna improve, and your body looks harder, pause, and that's the goal, not just lighter waist, muscles preserved, body looks harder. That's why this video is called Lose 20 pounds without looking smaller. Let's break it down. We're going to use a real example. 30 years old man. Yes, that's me. I'm 180 centimeters tall. In this image, I was 110 kilo, fluctuating 112, 14. I already started losing some weight, so I made this picture. If you are somebody also sedentary, maybe you work a lot, you sit too much, and you have belly fat, you feel uncomfortable either making pictures, taking your shirt off near the beach, and deep down that you're not living in the body you should be living in. So the first thing we can do is calculating resting metabolic rate. This is the amount of energy his body burns just to run the system. So this we're gonna use as example, this my previous self. The formula is 10 times body weight in kilos plus 6.25 times height in centimeters minus 5 times age plus 5. So for this man, that's 10 times 110 plus 6 times 6.22 times 180 minus 5 times 30 plus, that gives us around 2080 calories per day. That's his estimated metabolic rate. Then we multiply that by his activity level. Because he's sedentary, 2080 times 1.2 gives us 2,500 calories per day. That means if this man eats around 2,500 calories per day and barely moves, he probably maintains his current body weight. Now we have the starting point. And once we know the starting point, we can stop guessing. Because I eat clean doesn't mean anything. Clean compared to what? You can eat clean and still eat too much. You can eat healthy food and still keep the belly. Your body does not care about your opinion of the food. It responds to numbers, calories, protein, steps, training, sleep, consistency. That's the game. Now let's put 20 pounds in perspective. 20 pounds is around 9 kilos, 9 point to be accurate. But we are not saying all 20 pounds is pure fat. That's where people get confused. If you want to lose 20 pounds of pure fat, that would be roughly 70,000 calories. Divide that over 30 days and you would need around 2,333 calories of deficit every single day. That is not realistic from diet alone. If this man burns 2,000 calories per day and you tell him to create a 2,300 deficit, what is he eating? 200 calories? That's not a plan, that's starvation with a spreadsheet. We are not doing that. We are not trying to starve 20 pounds of his body. We are building a system. Some of the weight loss will come from fat, some of it will come from water, some from glycogen, some from food volume. And if he is undertrained, some lean mass improvement is possible as well. That is why the visual change can be bigger than what the scale actually shows. Let's say he loses 6 kilos of fat, drops 3 kilos from water, glycogen and food volume, and gains half a kilo of lean mass from finally training properly. The scale might show around 8.5 kilos down. That's around 18 to 19 pounds, but visually he can look like a different person because the waist is down, the muscles, they are trained, the posture is better, the body looks tighter. But the real promise is not you will burn 20 pounds of pure fat in 30 days. The real promise is if you're overweight and currently doing almost nothing right, you can create a 20-pound level transformation in 30 days. Because the scale does not tell the full transformation. A man can lose 15 pounds on the scale and look like he lost 20 pounds, 25. Why? Because body composition changed. His waist is smaller, his face is leaner, his bloating is down, his muscles are finally being trained, his posture is better, and if he is overweight and undertrained, he might even build some lean muscle mass while losing fat. So stop thinking only like a scale addict. The goal is not just to weight less, the goal is to look better. If your weight gets tighter, your strength holds, your pictures improve, and the scale is moving down, you are winning. That's a real game. Fat down, muscle signal up, structure locked in. Let's build a real daily gap. Our example man maintains around 2,500 calories per day. So we set his food intake around 1,800 to 2,100 calories. That gives him around 400 to 700 calories of deficit from diet. Not crazy starvation, just rolled eating. Then we add steps. For a 110 kilo man, 20,000 steps can add roughly 500 to 900 calories above a sedentary day. Now listen carefully, that number is not guaranteed for every single person. It depends on body weight, pace, stride, length, terrain, and baseline activity. If you already walk 12,000 steps per day, going to 20,000 steps does not add perhaps the same amount of calories burned as going from 4,000 to 20,000 steps. The transformation comes from the increase. That's the part people miss. Then we also add training. A hard 1 hour full body compound session can burn around 300 to 600 calories or even more. But we train 3 times per week, so averaged across the week, that's around 30 to 150 calories per day. Now the practical daily gap becomes around 1,000 to 1,500 calories. That gives us 45,000 calories across 30 days. That's around 8.5 to 2 pounds of fat equivalent. Then add water, glycogen, and food volume drop. Now the 15 to 22 pound scale drop becomes realistic, especially for a man, 110 kilo man who was sedentary before. This is how you say it. It's aggressive, but it's grounded. So stop to start 20 pounds less. That's why most people fail. They panic, they cut calories too hard, feel good for 4 days. Then 2 weeks later, they're flat, tired, weak, angry, and eating anything in the house. You don't need starvation, you need structure. If a man burns 2,500 calories per day, he is not going to lose 20 pounds properly by eating almost nothing. That's stupid. The smarter move is this: create a calorie deficit, walk 15 to 20,000 steps per day, lift weights, keep protein high, sleep properly, track everything. Now your body is losing fat, dropping water, keeping muscle, and looking tighter every week. That's how you lose weight without looking like you deflated. Now you don't blindly copy the 110 kilo example if you are not 110 kilos. Calculate your own numbers. 10 times body weight in kilos plus 6 times 25 plus 6.25 times height in centimeters minus 5 times age plus 5. That gives you your estimated resting metabolic rate. Then multiply that by your activity level. Sedentary is around 1.2. Light activity is around 1.35 to 1.45. And active is 1.55 or higher. But be watchful here. Most people overestimate their activity. They train 3 times per week and then sit the rest of the day. That's not active. That's sedentary with workouts. So don't lie to yourself. If your maintenance is 2,500, you might start around 100 to 2,100 calories. If your maintenance is 3,000, you may start around 2,200 to 20 calories. If your maintenance is only 2,500 calories, if your maintenance is only 2,100, don't copy the 110 kilo guy and eat like him. You need your own numbers. And this is where AI can help you start it. First, you want to take a clear picture of yourself, upload it to AI and write, estimate my body fat and lean mass. I am male, 30 years old, whatever, add your age, how tall you are, what's your weight, and then type, use my photo and give me a realistic fat loss calorie target, protein target, and 30-day plan. You can even tell it to estimate your current lean muscle mass, whatever you want to know. Is it perfect? It might be. I think it's accurate enough. It gives you a good starting point. And a starting point is already better than doing nothing or guessing. Because guessing is where most people, they stay stuck. Now we move to one of the big levers. These are your steps. For 30 days, your goal is 15 to 20,000 steps per day. If you're very heavy, very unfit, or your joints are not ready, start with or 15,000 steps and build up. But if you're healthy enough to walk, stop acting like walking is some advanced discipline. You can do this. Walk in the morning or walk after meals. During your phone calls, if you're working at home, you can get yourself standing desk, you can get treadmill desk, you can either get like not bike desk, but like as if you would be cycling behind the desk. This all adds. Take a walk before meetings if you are sitting the whole day. Add some walk after training. You can tap into the power of NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, burn extra fat right after your training. Or walk after work. Just go walk instead of scrolling. Walk instead of sitting around like your body is already retired. This is called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That means the calories you burn outside formal exercise. And for fat loss, NEAT is one of the best tools because it burns calories without destroying recovery. Cardio can beat up your legs. Sprints can affect your lifting and risk of injury, and too much intense conditioning in a deficit also can make you feel like death. But walking is simple. Walking is recoverable. Walking gives you extra output every day. If you go from 4,000 steps to 20,000 steps, the output change is huge. That's why fat starts moving. And the best part is it doesn't require motivation, just scheduling. Walking calls, post-meal walks, taking stairs instead of elevator, morning walks, maybe park your car to the last place instead of parking just near the entrance. And take a walk after training. This is a great way to really burn extra fat. Right after training, at least half an hour. Go for until 1 hour. Just walk instead of scrolling. You don't need to complicate this. You need to stop being lazy with the obvious things like walking. Because your workout alone cannot save a lazy day. Most men train for 45 minutes, then they sit for the next 12 hours and wonder why they are not lean. That's not a fat loss plan. That's a tiny workout sitting inside a lazy lifestyle. If you want a belly gun, you need daily output. That means steps, at least 15,000 steps. 1,000 if you're serious. Walk during calls, walk after meals, walk before work, walk after training. Get yourself a standing desk and walking treadmill. Stop acting like walking is complicated. Walking is one of the easiest ways to burn more calories without destroying recovery. Hard cardio, it makes you tired. Walking makes you consistent, and consistency gets your belly off. Now weight training, if you diet and walk. But don't lift weights. Yes, you can lose weight, but you might not like what you see because there is a difference between weight loss and building a body. A smaller soft body is not the goal. The goal is fat down, muscle signal up. So we lift 3 times per week. You're gonna do full body workouts, compound focused, no junk volume, no 2-hour gym sessions, no cable circus, no random influencer exercise where you're twisting your wrist and chasing the inner, upper, lower biceps peak. Stretch it out. You have weight to lose, and we are transforming in 30 days. You need the highest return exercises. And these are gonna be all your presses, rows, body weights like pull-ups, dips, squats, leg presses, Romanian deadlifts, dips, shoulder presses, abs. A little isolation at the end if needed, but compounds are the base. And yes, a hard 1-hour compound session can burn a real amount of calories. For a bigger man, a dense full body workout might burn 400 to 600 calories, but the calorie burn is not the main reason we live. That is low-level thinking. The main reason we lift is to send the signal that says, keep this muscle. We still need it. Because when you are in a calorie deficit, your body needs a reason to hold on lean muscle tissue. Training gives you the material, training gives you the commands. Steps create outputs. Diet creates the deficit. That's the system. So for Monday, we will go for incline press, pull-ups or pull-downs, squats or leg press, Romanian deadlift, lateral raise, cable crunch, or abs wheel rollouts. For Wednesday, we would go for dips or chest press, barbell row, Bulgarian split squats, leg curl, shoulder press, hanging leg raise. Friday, we would do bench press, seated row, hack squat, hip thrust or stiff leg deadlift, rear delts, and arm superset. And finish with ab wheel rollouts or some hanging leg raises. Every session, your job is simple. Progress the logbook. Track your lift in the app if you're using one. Aim to do more reps, more load, better control, better range of motion, better execution, not more random workouts, not ego lifting, not scrolling between sets. Go in, send the signal, get out, recover. That is how a man with a life actually trains. So stop doing chunk volume when you're trying to lose fat. Most men are in the gym doing 6 exercises for chest, 5 for arms, random cables, random machines. Then they say they don't have time. No, you don't have standards. If you're cutting, your workout has one main job: tell the body to keep the muscle. That does not require 2 hours. It requires tension, it requires effort, it requires progression, compound lifts, controlled rest, and the logbook or add your lifts or log your lifts, log the sets to the app. A pump alone is not progress. A pump is temporary blood flow. Progress is when your body is forced to adapt. So for 30 days, train full body 3 times per week, use big lifts, beat your own personal best, then get out and recover. Now protein, this is where most men ruin the cut. This is where most men ruin the cuts. They reduce calories, but protein is too low. Then they lose weight, but they also lose shape. They become smaller, flatter, weaker. And then call it progress because the scale went down. No, that's not the goal. For our plan, if you're around 30% of body fat, you might be carrying 70 till 80 kilo of lean mass. That's an estimate. But that's enough to set the target. For this phase, protein is non-negotiable. For our example, man, that would be set the protein to 180 to 20 grams per day. Clean, simple target, 2 grams per day. That gives 800 calories of protein. That gives us 800 calories from protein. Then we structure the rest of the diet. For a 2000 calorie example, 200 grams of protein, that's 8 calories. 50 grams of net carbs, that's 200 calories. 110 grams of fats, that's around 990 calories. 50 grams of carbs, that's 200 calories. 110 grams of fats, that's around 990 calories. Total around 1990 calories. Now listen carefully. Healthy fats are not free calories. Avocado is healthy. Olive oil is healthy. Eggs are good. Nuts are good. Steak is good. But if you don't measure, you can erase your deficit. So yes, we use healthy fats, but we track them. Most of the day, the structure is protein plus fats. We keep low carb, stable energy, no bloating, no crash, no random hunger every 2 hours. Then around training, we use carbs strategically. If you train at 5 p.m., your carb meal can be around lunchtime. So we're gonna go for lean protein source with carbohydrates, low fat. Then some 90 minutes before training, maybe some whey protein shake, maybe half a banana or some few rice cakes if you need some extra, have something in belly if the session is demanding. And before workouts, either coffee 30 minutes before or just before start training, drink pre-workout. After the training, we go back to protein. Healthy fats and low-carb veggies if you need them. This is the carb timing advantage. Carbs are not the devil, random carbs are the problem. If you eat carbs before training, they're gonna have a job. If you eat carbs all day while sitting behind the desk, don't be shocked when fat loss slows down. Unless you're about to run a marathon right after you eat a bunch of carbs, they're gonna sit on you. So place carbs where they serve performance. Don't scatter them across every single meal. Because carbs are not the problem. Random carbs are. Most men eat carbs at breakfast, carbs at lunch, carbs at snacks, carbs at dinner, then sit 10 hours and wonder why their belly isn't moving. Your body does not care that the carbs were healthy. If you're not using the fuel, you're making fat loss harder. So here is the rule: protein every meal, healthy fats most of the day, carbs around training. When you place carbs before performance, they have a job: better pump, better strength, better output. But when you eat them randomly while sitting behind the desk, they become a storage problem. So stop eating like every meal is pre-workout. Fuel when you need the fuel. Stay low carb when you don't. Now let me show you what the day actually looks like. Morning, you wake up, you drink some water, coffee if you drink coffee, protein and fats, staying low carb. That could be some eggs, Greek yogurt, whey protein, steak, some salmon, whatever fill your macros. The point is simple: do not start the day with a blood sugar roller coaster. Then wonder why you are tired 2 hours later. During your work, build steps early. This is important. Do not wait until 9 p.m. to realize you still did 14,000 steps. That is poor planning. Walk during the calls. Walk after meals. Walk before meetings. Walk outside when you would normally scroll. By lunchtime, in best case, you should already have a serious chunk of steps done. Maybe more than half. Then you have lunch. If you train later, lunch can be your carb meal. Lean protein plus carbs. Low fat could be chicken and rice, lean beef and sweet potatoes, turkey and pasta, something simple, without fats, but measured, not drowned in some oil. If you're not training later, lunch stays protein and fats with low carb veggies. Then pre-workout protein, then pre-workouts. You can, if you still feel you don't want to eat, just drink protein, smash that session. If you feel like 2 hours before workout that you would need a little bit more food in the belly, drink some whey protein, eat few rice cakes, or mix a shake with whey protein, half banana or some blueberries. Then before session, either drink coffee or get yourself pre-workout. Have explosive session. Get that training done, full body compounds, controlled rest. Phone only for timer or logging in your sets or for music. No messages. No messages, no reels, no checking who viewed your story. You are there to train. Then we go for dinner. Protein and fats. Can be some low-carb vegetables or some salads. Those are 0 calories. Not post-workout pizza because you earned it. That is loser math. Then evening. Finish your steps, prepare food for tomorrow, hydrate before the evening starts. Make sure you hit your water numbers before at least 2 hours before going to sleep. And then aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. This is your aim. Because if your sleep is trash, hunger goes up, discipline goes down, training gets worse, and the whole protocol becomes harder. You don't need a perfect life, but for 30 days you need to stop making your own plan harder. Now, track the scoreboard, calories, protein, steps, training, weekly weight average, waist measurement. If weight average is down, waist is down, and strength is stable, keep going. If nothing changes after 7 to 10 days, first audit your execution. Did you really track everything? Did you really hit your steps? Did you really hit calories? Was your sleep on point? Did you train properly? Most of the time the plan is not broken, your execution is. So if you are not tracking your, and guessing is why most men stay stuck. They say they eat clean. No, they eat unmeasured. They don't track the oil. They don't track the sauce. They don't track the nuts. Pause. They don't track the weekend. They don't track the bigger plate because they aren't or been training before. Then they say, I don't know why I'm not losing fat. Yes, you do. You're just not measuring. The app doesn't care about your feelings. The food scale doesn't care about your excuses. The numbers don't lie. You do when you refuse to track. So for 30 days, challenge yourself. Track your food. Track how many steps per day you make. Track your training, your sets, your lifts. Track your body weight. Track your waist measurement or make a progress picture and upload it to ChatGPT. Ask to estimate your body fat percentage. See your starting point, see where you are going. That's how fat loss becomes mathematical instead of just emotional. The plan is usually not broken, your execution is. Most men don't need a new diet, they need to stop leaking calories. They say the scale is not moving, Then you check the truth, they missed their steps, they didn't track oil, they had a weekend meal, they slept 5 hours, then trained with their phone in their hand, and then they say, this plan doesn't work for me. No, your half-ass effort doesn't work for you because you changed the plan. Before you change the plan, audit the execution. Did you hit protein? Did you hit calories, your macros, your steps? Did you train? Did you sleep properly? Did you measure, track what you eat? If not, stop looking. Did you measure your actual progress? Did you check your body fat with AI? If not, stop looking for a new method. Finish the one you started. So here is the full 30 days protocol. Calculate your maintenance. Eat 20 to 21 calories if you're close to 110 kilo example, but calculate your exact number so you know how many calories to eat. Hit your protein goal. Walk 15,000 to 20,000 steps per day. Unless you can't, go for 20,000 steps. Lift full body 3 times per week. Place your carbs before training. Hydrate. Use electrolytes. Sleep 7 to 8 hours. Track everything. Adjust after 7 to 10 days if needed. And most importantly, stop negotiating with the version of you that created the problem, because that version will always have an excuse. Either too busy, too tired, too much work, too much stress, too much going on. Cool. But the belly does not care. The mirror does not care. The beach does not care. Your confidence does not care. You either execute or you don't. For that man we care, for the man we checked 110 kilo example, if he follows the plan properly, he could realistically see 4-7 kilos of fat loss, 2 till 4 coming from water, glycogen, food volume drop, maybe 0 to 1 kilo, maybe 1 kilo of lean mass improvement if he's undertrained and executes properly. So in 1 month, if the scale could drop around 7 to 10 kilos, that's around 15 to 22 pounds. And usually, because the waist gets smaller, muscles get strained, posture gets better, and bloating is down, you can look dramatically different. That's the honest version. I won't give you some fake advice. This is all math. It's a little bit aggressive, but it's possible, especially for a man who is overweight and currently doing almost nothing. So if that's you, give it a try. Give yourself 30 days, not to become perfect, but to prove yourself you can follow structure. This raises your confidence. And if you are overweight now, you want a fat to lose, think about it. If you're 110 kilos, you could be 100 kilo in 30 days with better muscle definition and with better habits that gonna excel you towards your dream body. Even if you would not be exactly 20 pounds down, you would look a different man. Because the scale is not only one part of the transformation. The real win is when fat is down, weight is tighter, strength is stable, your pictures improve, your confidence comes back. Now, if you want the full 30 days protocol in PDF, comment the word shredded below in the comments, and I'll comment the word shredded comment shredded below, and I'll send it to you. And if you're serious and you want direct help, so you have accountability and the plan built around you, click the link in the description and apply for coaching. I'll personally review it. If it's a good fit, we'll talk. If it's not, I'll point you in the right direction. But do not watch this and do nothing. That's the weakest move. Now you have the numbers, you have the structure, you have 30 days, execute. I'll see you in the next video.